I'm Kara, this is my channel, Darling Vulgarity. Today I'm going to do a video about the evolution of Fashion Nouveau to Boho Glam. However, I'm going to have a little bit of a preface for this video. If you're not interested in hearing me talk, you can just skip ahead now. I'm recording this video in 2025 and it's been difficult for me to prioritize art and creativity and beauty lately. I turn on the television or I look at my phone and I see so much ugliness. And my knee-jerk reaction to that is to tell myself it's a slap in the face to people who are facing real injustices right now for me to make a video about clothes. On top of that, it can feel really hard to do anything at all. I sometimes struggle with depression, and combined with the hit my nervous system takes every time I consume any media, it makes me want to do nothing but lay in bed all day. I can't do that because I have a young son, so I need to get up every day and put on a face that tells him you are safe in this world. But it's hard to help someone see the beauty in every day when it's really hard for me to find right now. Disengaging from social media helps, yes, but it's not just social media, it's literally everywhere. What has helped me lately is to look at similar points in history and see that people lived through that too. I'm gonna create a video series called Rebel Fashion. You'll be able to find it in the playlist section of my channel. Each video will feature outfits, yes, as I've always done, because it is important to remind ourselves that art and creativity are what get us through difficult times, and beauty is what makes life worth living. But they will also include little bits of history, and I'm gonna show how people used fashion to respond to or to rebel against whatever was happening politically or socially at these moments in time. And if you are also someone who's sensitive to what's happening in the world right now, then I encourage you to leave us all a comment and tell us how you are dealing with it. This video is actually inspired by a PBS documentary I recently watched on the Gilded Age. It's kind of incredible how many similarities there are to that point in history and where we are right now. I'll link it in the description if anyone is interested in giving it a watch. Fashion, like art, is a reflection of our cultural ideals or a movement against them. And few styles demonstrate this better than the lineage from the Art Nouveau Moda of the 1890s to the Boho Glam look of the 1970s and even now. In the 1890s, the Industrial Revolution was raging, and it caused a massive upheaval in the way people work and the way people lived. Sound familiar? Not unlike what artificial intelligence is doing today. And suddenly there was no human touch to anything, no craftsmanship, no uniqueness, no originality, just mass production. Everything became very uniform and very ugly. The Art Nouveau movement emerged in rebellion to this mass conformity. And unlike most art movements that had come before Art Nouveau, it was not in any way limited to a canvas. The idea was to make everyday life more beautiful, which meant artfully designing common household items. Little things like doorknobs and cutlery, things we wear to adorn ourselves like clothing and jewelry, all the way to the big stuff, you know, the buildings, the architecture. Art Nouveau embraced organic forms, floral motifs, asymmetry, and femininity. And the clothing, which you will often hear referred to as Art Nouveau Moda, mirrored this. You see, at the time of the Industrial Revolution, Victorian dress and rigid corsetry was still very, very, very commonplace. This is the fashion you usually see in documentaries or TV shows about the Gilded Age. But it had started to change. The dress reform movement was led by middle-class women in the mid to late 1800s who just wanted to dress more comfortably and more practically. And this was when the bloomer suit was introduced. The bloomer suit was inspired by women's wear of the Middle East and Central Asia. The aesthetic dress movement took reform even further and said that clothing should complement the natural shape of the body. Aesthetic dress included loose gowns in natural dyes and delicate fabrics meant to free both the body and the artistic spirit. By the 1930s, those same flowing lines took on a new life in the age of cinema. The emphasis on elegance combined with Art Nouveau's long curving silhouettes evolved into the bias cut gowns that you see on 30s Hollywood glam stars like Jean Harlow and Marlene Dietrich. Fashion designers like
Madeleine Vionnet and Elsa Schiaparelli
translated the natural drape of the body into some stunning evening wear. It was often made out of satin or silk, evoking that same sensuality of Art Nouveau, but with a more modern, cinematic sheen. The 40s and 50s go back to being a little more structured and form-fitting, but fast forward to the 1960s, and you have the counterculture revolution, which reignited interest in these organic aesthetics. The curved lines and the botanical designs of the Art Nouveau period re-emerged, but this time you could see them in fashion, yes, but also on rock posters and album covers. Really popular Art Nouveau artists like Moda and Beardsley were rediscovered by the psychedelic movement, which stole the motifs but replaced those very natural, soft-looking pastels with a palette of much more vibrant colors to create this trippy look. And fashion followed suit. You had these very vibrantly colored, long botanical maxi dresses and fringed shawls and embroidered tunics with lots of Eastern inspiration. And then by the 1970s, all of these different influences had merged into an eclectic style that we started calling Boho Glam, and that style has lasted to this day. It is the opposite of a uniform. Women started mixing these Art Nouveau style kimonos with the bias cut 30s slip dresses and the more psychedelic 60s prints with globally inspired accessories and shawls, fabrics with a very tactile appeal like suede and crochet and velvet became really popular parts of this aesthetic. Style icons for Boho Glam include, of course, Stevie Nicks, also Talitha Getty, and later Kate Bush. There is an untamed elegance to Boho Glam that echoes that Art Nouveau movement, and I think really speaks to the soul of feminine people. Boho Glam is still really huge, even today, but we can also see Art Nouveau's influence in another aesthetic that I love to talk about, which is Whimsigoth, which also incorporates a lot of fluid lines, a lot of tactile fabrics, and a lot of botanical prints. It sort of blends Art Nouveau with 70s Stevie Nicks, but makes the whole thing a little more dark and goth and moody, and it's like Boho Glam's witchy little sister. The outfits that I'm going to show you in this video combine elements from several of the eras that we just talked about, but I'm going to make sure to put it together in a way that is wearable today. So the first outfit I have on is just a maxi length dress. It's the Painter's Garden gown by Spell and the Gypsy Collective, which is a women-owned certified B corporation. It has these wonderful kimono sleeves. The fabric is really silky and breathable and lightweight. I love the colors and the floral motif. If I give you a close-up look, you can see that there's lots of botanicals involved. The bird blending with the botanical print feels very Art Nouveau to me. I love this dress. I think it's so pretty. It's so comfortable for these summer days when you just don't want to feel the weight of your clothes at all. And it really reminds me of those Art Nouveau paintings of women in very drapey silhouettes. And yet it doesn't feel like a costume. It feels like and is a dress that I wear out regularly. I've paired it with some pretty minimal gold jewelry, including the more modern gold hoop that I just wear with a lot of things because it's easy. But I have to show off my bracelet. It's just a piece of costume jewelry, but it actually belonged to my great-grandmother. And I love that it was botanical and that bright summery green. I've just got this on with some little pink ballet flats. I wouldn't wear this one to work, but I feel like you can wear it pretty much anywhere else. Something about this dress also makes me want to wear it to create art. Whether you're, a painter, or you like to sew, or you just want to sit and color in a coloring book for a little while, it feels like something that I want to be creative in when I have it on. For my next outfit, I have this more 1930s Hollywood glam inspired silk slip dress. This one is from Selkie. It's another woman-owned business. They make really beautiful clothes. And then to give it a more modern boho glam touch, I threw the burnt out velvet ruby kimono over top. This is one that I got secondhand. It's by Free People. I really love the combination of this slip, which is like a cream, almost blush color, very natural looking, with the vibrancy of this really deep ruby kimono. The perfect outfit to peruse antique stores or maybe go to a vintage market in. This outfit is another slip dress and kimono combination. This slip dress has a more modern look. It's a midi length instead of a maxi length. It's a little more biased cut. This is another piece by Spell. And then the kimono, instead of the Indian paisley print that the last one had, has a botanical print with some fringe. The botanicals being a nod to Art Nouveau, the fringe being a nod to the more 70s boho look. This video is not to say go out and buy new things. It is to say take inspiration from these different eras and create something out of the clothes that you already own. Lastly, if you were listening to my history spiel at the beginning of this video, you heard me mention the bloomer suit. So for this last outfit, I have a corset style top. I chose this one specifically because it has a mucha print on the front of it. It's an older design that I got secondhand by a brand called Black Milk. And I have the bloomer pants that I just can't stop wearing lately. You can wear it like this, just as is, or if you want to layer a kimono over top to make it a little more boho, you can choose to do that. Or if this feels like too much, you can sub out the kimono for a denim jacket and make it a little more understated. So you have these vintage elements with a modern twist. And this is just a casual outfit that you could go out grocery shopping in. Or maybe, hopefully, you're doing something a little more fun. That is all I have for you today. Thank you truly for watching my channel and sharing this time with me. If you are interested in my Rebel Fashion video series, then keep an eye on the playlist on my channel, as I will be uploading more of those in the coming months. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.